Hi, and welcome back. In this section, we're going to move on and create our next section, which is 11, which will be about privacy data sharing and photography. So, similar to the previous section where we was trying to gather consent from the parent and carer, this will be the same. So, we're going to start off every section the same. So, we're going to create a new section. Um, we're going to label this section privacy, data sharing, and photography. And we're going to add a little bit of description here, just to give the parents and carers some more information who's filling out the registration form. And then we're going to, as always, just add a title. And this title, we're going to put general data consent. Oops. And then we can go on to our first questions. So, first thing that we're asking for consent and to get acknowledgement from the parents and carers is are they happy for Awesome or you as a venture playground to process the data provided in this online form so it is known who is accessing the service and can in contact about general services issues and in an emergency. So similar to other options, we want to have a yes and no response. So we're going to give them options, and it is multiple choice. And if you click here, it will put the no in. We want to edit the no because we just want to give a bit more information. If they do say no, that it would mean that they would not be able to access our service, and we're going to make that a requirement. And in a similar fashion to the last short clip, we then want a virtual electronic signature. So we're just going to put signed as a question, and we're going to change that to short answer, and we're going to make it a requirement. So if they click no, then it means obviously they can't access the service. And if they click yes, then they will just go onto this section and print their name as a short answer. We're then gonna just add another bit of information. Yours might be different, but I'm going to add it to this form as an example just to show you what we have had to put on our form. So we're contracted by Islington Council to manage 6 adventure playgrounds, and so therefore we have a requirement as part of our contract that we have to share information and data with Islington Council. So that's something that we would have had on our paper-based form, and I'm just using the title and the description to pass on that to the parents and carers so they will be aware of what they're agreeing to if they register their child, or whether they would not like to have this, which means that they wouldn't be able to access the service that we're delivering. So to back that up, I'm going to the question, and I'm going to ask the parent and carer the question that's on our paper-based form. And we don't want all these, so I'm going to have to manually type in yes, and I'm then going to add the other option, which is no, which they wouldn't be able to access our service. It is a multiple choice, so I'm just checking that, and then it is required. And just similar fashion to the others, we would then add the next question, which is not really a question, but it's just a space where the parents and carers could sign, and we want that to be a short answer, where they can put their name in to say that they're giving consent and make it required. And a similar thing for photo consent. So we're going to actually have made a mistake there, so you can see how easy it is to kind of revert that mistake. I added a question when I wanted to put a title. So I'm just going to delete that question and go to the title section, and that allows me to put photography consent, and it also allows me to put a bit more information in for the parent and carer about what we're asking for and consent. And then I can move straight onto the question, which is, are they happy for their child's photo to be taken and used in social media, film and publicity relating to Orson's managed services for children without further written permission? We can use the yes or no, get rid of maybe, and can leave it at that. It's required for them to say yes or no. You can see in this section, it's not something that would say that they wouldn't be able to access our service for if they don't give us permission. So there's no further information on the no, but we can add the bit where they would sign again as a question. And that just means that we've got a signature, changing it to short answer, and required if, yeah, so required, and that just backs up where they've said yes or no. So if they've said yes, the sign there. You could potentially leave this as not required, because obviously if they click no, they've still got to sign. So this is something that you have to think about when you're going through the form. And then we're going to move on to the next one, which is send again. I'm going to go to create a title, and this is about marketing consent. So we're just going to name that marketing consent and put a bit more information in there for the parents and carers to understand what we're actually asking. And this was obviously on our paper-based form when we had one. And then I can add the question, which is as follows. They are happy to be sent information about special events, projects, program changes, job opportunities, and new services delivered by our organisation. It could be your individual playground. You can see there, for some reason, it thinks we're asking a linear scale question, so an option of 1 to 5. So we're just going to change that to multiple choice, and manually put in yes, and click there for no. And it's required. And just like before, we're going to add the signature question, which is signed, and change this to short answer. And similar again, it's up to you if this is something that you can either leave unrequired, because if they click no, they still have to type in their name, and move on. And that's it for this section. Hope to see you for the next section, and we're nearly at the end of the form now.